Tonight, Whyalla health groups put forward submissions on GP shortages. And a wild storm leaves thousands of Broken Hill residents without power.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamane begins now.
Good evening. A Senate inquiry into the chronic shortage of GP services has arrived in Whyalla. Submissions from local health groups and councils were heard at a special session at the Alexander Motel.
Finding a solution to a sector in the regions currently on life support. A Senate inquiry into the availability of general practitioners in Australia's regions setting up in Whyalla for a special hearing. Senators already noticing the shortage needs to be fixed as soon as possible.
What our inquiry is revealing is that this is a massive problem and that it needs to be fixed. We clearly need to be having a range of measures through evidence presented to us so far.
With older GPs retiring, senators say they have found younger doctors are not willing to move to the regions, opting for better jobs in the city. Regional residents showing their frustration at the situation.
People everywhere are ringing our offices as parliamentarians and complaining that they simply can't get on to the books of the doctor, let alone get ongoing treatment.
Today's session, hearing submissions from the District Council of Kimba and Streaky Bay, in addition to health groups and organisations.
If I were to jump in my car here in Whyalla and drive to Ceduna, 470 kilometres, there's not a doctor between those two locations. There's no doctor in Kimba.
We hope to, at the end of the day, come out with some significant understanding about how to fix the crisis that we are seeing in our community.
The inquiry will next visit Melbourne and Central Queensland. Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The annual lead levels report for Port Pirie was released yesterday, showing a small downward trend in blood levels of children. Despite the drop, there are still worrying concerns, with some children testing higher than 20 micrograms per decilitre.
It's a step in the right direction, but there's still a long way to go. 385 children who had their lead levels tested were higher than 5 micrograms per decilitre, a 3.7% decrease compared to 2020. 6 of those had a higher lead level than 20, compared to 15 children the year before. While 38 children tested higher than 15, another slight decrease from 42 in 2020.
So we've got a long way to go. But compared with the previous few years, which was always trending upwards, it is very pleasing to see that we've now at least plateaued, if not starting to fall.
Children who do record a level higher than 20 will get to come here to the Environmental Health Centre, where they work with families to identify the source.
Sometimes it may just be a once-off. Children like to put things in their mouths, which is the principal route of exposure. And there's nothing any parent can do. Children put things in their mouths.
Children can also get a higher lead level by playing in dirt. The state government now cleaning up backyards with turf and grass.
But we don't have to go for lawns, any plants that you grow will actually try to hold that soil in place and stop the wind whipping it up.
Experts say high lead levels can damage the nerves inside the brain, which could affect the developing IQ to reach its full potential. Christian Komenos, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A P-plater has lost his licence and had his car impounded after allegedly speeding and drink driving on the Augusta Highway this morning. At about 5:30 this morning, police spotted a blue Holden hatchback allegedly travelling nearly 40 kilometres over the speed limit. A 28-year-old man allegedly blew 0.151, more than 3 times the legal alcohol limit. Police say they also located a machete in the vehicle. The man was reported for drink driving, excessive speed, breaching licence conditions and possessing a prohibited weapon. He'll appear in the Port Pirie Magistrates Court at a later date. Far West New South Wales was hit hard with storms overnight. The wild weather causing damage in Broken Hill CBD, while leaving thousands of homes and businesses without power.
February ended just as it started for Broken Hill residents. Wet. Thunder and lightning hitting at around 7 p.m, with rain flooding the streets. Some residents getting their boogie boards out. A trough over this part of the state causing the heavens to open up.
Yesterday there was a trough over the western parts of inland New South Wales. Now that combined with moist easterly winds and last night brought some thunderstorms.
The sun back out today, shining a light on the damage done by last night's weather event. Emergency and council crews working throughout the morning to clean up and get the power back on for 4,000 residents. The trough is moving east towards the Riverina. However, residents should still watch for warnings.
There's still the chance of thunderstorms this afternoon or this evening in Broken Hill, so really important that people keep an eye on the warnings.
Broken Hill was hit with 29 millimetres of rain, while Menindee recorded 10.6 and Wilkenya 11.4. The closest in the west of the state was Wentworth with 23.
Yeah, in the western parts, it seems that the next closest in the region for us is 23 millimetres at Wentworth. So that trough really was extending across the western parts from the south to the north.
Anyone in need of assistance is advised to call the SES on 132500. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, an event aiming to reduce illegal rubbish dumping in Port Augusta. I'll see you after the break. In the lead up to Clean Up Australia Day, a free hard rubbish disposal event has been announced for the residents of Port Augusta. The move has been welcomed by community members concerned about the illegal dumping problem the city has faced.
A solution to stop the pollution. The Port Augusta City Council holding a rubbish disposal day for community members. On Sunday, residents will be able to dispose of hard rubbish and bulky items at no cost.
Yeah, so Council's taken the initiative to provide a free dump day. Fantastic initiative. It's good for our community. It will help people dispose of the rubbish that's been building up the yard, and we understand their concerns of the cost to dispose of that rubbish.
The free event aiming to encourage responsible disposal of items frequently abandoned out bush. With growing concerns, illegal dumping is doing irreversible damage to Port Augusta's surrounding landscape.
This is a way we can try to deter what is occurring out into our native areas and our dirt road areas where rubbish is being dumped by trailer loads, and it's actually disgusting.
All normal household waste will be accepted, with trailers as big as 8 by 5 feet or smaller accepted.
So I encourage everybody to load up the trailers and prepare for the day. There will be a line-up, so you will have to wait. So make sure you secure your rubbish properly. We don't want it losing half of your load coming into the dump.
The transfer station will be open from 8 a.m. till 12 noon on Sunday, with free disposal vouchers given out to residents who do not make it in.
You know, we're probably looking, I think it's around 100k mark through what Council are doing through this. So I think it's a great initiative and I hope everybody supports it.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Copper Coast is excited to announce it will be hosting the Master Games in 2023 for a second time in 3 years. Event organisers are aiming to make the Games bigger and better, hoping to attract thousands of competitors to the region.
It's coming back to the Copper Coast. For more than 25 years, the Masters Games have brought South Australians together to compete in a variety of sports. And next year, athletes will race back to Kadina, Wallaroo and Moonta in a 4-day sporting frenzy.
It just brought so much for our community, so many people, and certainly supported our active lifestyle that we really are trying to promote in this area.
Extra events will be added to the 2023 lineup, which will see an increase in athletes from last year, where they had more than 1,600 participants.
And so, yeah, we're open to suggestions, but I think we're going to definitely include 8-ball because that seems to be quite popular, and soccer and touch football and even lacrosse are things that are all sort of on the table.
The Games will be another big boost for the region's economy, with accommodation and restaurants expected to book out.
We did do a cost analysis from the last Games, and yeah, it brought thousands of dollars into the community that we wouldn't otherwise see.
Facilities will be used across the 3 towns, with Kadina based as the main hub.
Where we've got the indoor courts, we've got the wonderful tennis courts, football oval, we've got our wonderful synthetic hockey pitch.
Christian Komenos, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. The push for more AFL umpires to join Broken Hill's ranks. Hello again. If you enjoy AFL as well as getting fit, then this may be the story for you. Footy umpires in Broken Hill have put out the call for more people to join their ranks for the upcoming season.
Former players and fans urged to become involved in AFL this season, with Broken Hill umpires needing some fresh faces to join them.
Yes, now and when the season starts and in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, we're always short of umpires.
On the lookout for people to help on the boundary as well as on the field. Even those who don't enjoy running or want to be in the thick of the action, there is a job for you as well. And you also get paid.
Right up from the experienced footballer who's just retired to someone who wants to get fit, run around the outside and actually get paid to get fit. And those that even struggle a little bit more and want to do in the goals and help out, there's even jobs for them.
You don't need to know everything about the game to come along to training, but a basic knowledge and enjoyment for AFL will help.
We've got some basic skills and drills where you can work out what level and what type you want to do.
Games are played on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Around 70 umpires are needed for the season. Unfortunately, the city is well under that number. Even people from other sports are welcome to do some goal and boundary umpiring.
You know, soccer players, just athletes that want to come around and use that for some skills and some speed and stuff like that and get paid for it.
If you are interested in becoming an umpire, training is on every Monday at 5 p.m. at Jubilee Oval. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Residents across the Spencer Gulf are invited to events to raise awareness and celebrate locals with Down syndrome. The first, a talent show where participants are encouraged to record a singing, dancing or performance video, which will be made into a montage, while keen bowlers are welcome to come down in fancy dress to the Whyalla Bowling Centre in a fortnight. For more information, contact Whyalla's Mission Australia office. Summer sport has had a rough trot these past few weeks, with many contests being put on hold. Despite this, residents have been getting out and about, showing interest in some of our region's up-and-coming leagues. Edward McCarroll reports.
Despite COVID outbreaks halting many of the region's contests, players from around the Spencer Gulf still laced up their sneakers for a bumper weekend of sport. Basketball league's the hardest hit, with close contact exposures grinding games to a stop. Port Augusta and Whyalla aim to resume their matches by the end of the week. In Port Lincoln, some games went ahead, with up-and-coming talent on display in the under-14s. The Port Lincoln men's tennis contest turned up the heat, with Shepherd Building and Air Eye Centre going at each other in a close contest, but it was Shepherd Building that rose above. In the other games, Sports Power Superstore defeated GPK Accounting, with Chris Bard showing some great form. And in a battle to see who is the best in seafood, the Fresh Fish Place defeated EP Seafood. Moving on to softball, Port Pirie's competition saw Checkmates defeat Cougars 3-2. To the disappointment of the Cougars, Sharon Coombe and Kim Allen both contributed just enough safe hits to push the Checkmates over the line in the bottom of the 5th innings. In the other match, Solly Cats steamrolled Tigers by 7 runs. At the top of the 3rd innings, Penny Lynch cracked a beautiful left field hit to score 3 runs before following it up with another amazing hit in the 4th. In Whyalla, it was a close game on Sunday between the Cats and the Indians, with both teams having double plays. Cats just outclassing their competitors and going on to win by a single run. The second game saw Eagles and Roadrunners vie for second spot on the ladder. The crowd was stunned by 2 spectacular catches by Sarah Hawke, proving how much of an asset she is. The Roadrunners went on to beat the Eagles 8-4. Finally, in Northwestern Croquet, Crystal Brook hosted Port Pirie for 2 matches, the first of which ended in a draw. However, the second game was dominated by the Port Pirie side, who pulled off an impressive feat, Mervyn Hayder and Lou James scoring 26 hoops, the maximum hoops attainable in a game. That's it for this week's Sports Wrap. If you would like your team's results featured in our bulletin, please reach out through our Facebook page.
And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.